This is Boxing Tickets, and we're here at the airport once again. Delighted to join with the King, Anto Cacace. Are you getting used to these homecomings yet?
That's what I was just about to say. To join from the airport a couple of times, that's just weird. It's weird coming home and having cameras in my face and people taking photos. You know, it's surreal. I mean, 12 months, my whole life's been turned upside down for a real positive reason, and just riding the crest of a wave and enjoying everything.
It's nearly 2 years to the day since we've done the first one, the international, obviously after the McNeasy fight. I guess obviously, 35, like we done on your birthday, obviously we done your interview for Usyk and Fury, which is cancelled. It seems to be since you've turned 35, this is definitely the best year of your life.
Yeah, it's definitely the best year of my life. That was a big fight for me with Cordina, and it really did change everything. And now, just being another two-time world champion, Josh Warrington, great fight, was a close fight. Hard fight, things maybe wasn't my greatest performance. Could have done things differently, but it is what it is when it stays on from here.
Do you look at the experience, of Josh last night? Obviously, people will sort of go, it wasn't maybe your greatest performance. The scorecard's maybe a bit wider than probably maybe you would have thought it to be, but that experience, obviously, a two-time world champion. You've got revenge for three other Irish fighters as well. Obviously, Patrick Hyland, Martin Lindsay, and Carl Frampton. That's always all wee bonus things, that experience, getting revenge for other Irish fighters. Happy days.
That's it, man. I'm the only Irish fighter to beat him. I can see why as well. He's a tough, got the good wee engine. Yeah, mate, listen, I could have made it easier. I thought I was jabbing ahead of him. If you're looking at the boxing aspect, I boxed ahead of him, really. But a couple of times he was catching me on the way out and whatever else in there. I just wasn't too happy with my performance, but I'm happy with the result. A near controller. Naturally thought I won handy after the fight, and that was the main thing. But listen, getting the win for all the Irish boys that have suffered defeat to, is great.
You finally can now tick off, obviously, Wembley, obviously just over 2 years ago, where obviously the disaster sort of happened there. Were you really taking the moment in Wembley? I know you said this is bonus territory now, and where you're at, were you really enjoying soaking up all the Wembley atmosphere? It's crazy to think that both cards you fought in Riyadh season this year, the person that was expected to win in the main event lost them both. So, are they sort of looking at you now and going, Anto Cacace's in this card, people will bet the other way in the main event?
I'm the scud of the event, alright? No, that's just it, man. Boxing's, people understand boxing, professional boxing, there's 8-ounce, 10-ounce gloves on, bandages underneath that. You're getting hit hard after making weight and stuff, This isn't a game to be taken lightly. This is a hard sport, There's people getting seriously hurt and killed in this sport all the time. So you have to take this serious, no matter what level you're at. Anthony Joshua or last night you seen that. People thought he could have steamrolled Dubois and didn't. Get knocked out and heavy, and that's the type of thing take years off your life. So it is what it is with the heavyweights, and I could be a wee bit of a scud, but hopefully they still have me on the Saudi shows.
Obviously, that's two back-to-back Saudi shows as well. It's crazy to think this is the most active you've been in 8 years. Obviously, in fights so close together. Does it feel, obviously, I guess what you're saying, it's bonus territory. Do you feel, obviously, now this activity is obviously it's coming at the very right time for you? Obviously, you've earned more in the last two fights than did you probably ever imagine you were going to make over the last few years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My life is just completely flipped upside down. But 35. I'm at this stage. I'm just delighted. Thank God for all that put me in this position. I've worked my whole life all for it, and I'm just glad that everything's paid off for me, and I get to enjoy the next couple of years as a world champion, hopefully.
You've mentioned, obviously, in the last night, obviously, you mentioned the potential of stepping up to lightweight. You've mentioned, obviously, Lomachenko. My missus is going mad. She loves you, and she's on Loma, and she's going, what do I do? Loma, tank. This is where you're looking at it now. You're not looking and going, yes, the money aspect, but obviously it's cementing a legacy, becoming another Irish two-weight world champion. That's things you want to do now.
Yeah, well, this is a business at the end of the day too, and it's all about making money and making the right choices and doing the right things for your family and for your children. So I plan on doing that, and maybe super featherweight I can still do it, no problem or whatever, but I'm a big man, I can move up to lightweight and do that no problem. So I would love to fight the likes of, listen, Lomachenko. People will laugh and whatever else, but they're the clowns of boxing, you know what I mean? People that are sitting on their settee who think, who think they know everything and blah blah blah. But listen, these are things that people dream of. I'm not saying that I'm going to go in there and beat Loma or Tank or anything like that. But I'll tell you what, I will give it me all, and you know, I wouldn't be fooling the public because I'll always give it me all. So that's it. I just really want to march on from here now, you know, and keep enjoying it.
It's scary to think, like obviously, you know, the many interviews we've done over the last few years, to think at the position you're in now, where you can call these guys out, like, you know, I guess when times were bleak in this sport, when you're sort of going, and now we can call these people out, and does it feel weird to you when you sort of say, I'll fight Loma, I'll fight Tank, like, does it feel weird to you still to go?
It feels weird as anything, you know what I mean? It feels like I'm calling out some like the superstars that I've watched my whole life, but I mean, it's real now, isn't it? If it wasn't real, I wouldn't say it. And I'm at that level now. So listen, people like, you know, set it clear for people. Do I think I may beat these lads? I'm not saying that, but I would fight them in the morning, and I would try my very, very best.
There's obviously still the possibility of obviously staying at super featherweight and obviously fighting your manager, Sugar Nunez. You haven't seen a tweet from Eddie Hearn yet, but Eddie Hearn's saying please stay at super featherweight. You're 2-0. Eddie Hearn saying please stay at super featherweight. He says it's going to be a banger between you and Sugar Nunez. You're 2-0 against Matchroom. And obviously he still feels confident that you're not going to complete the treble over him.
Yeah, there's no one in the Matchroom stable at super featherweight beats me, you know, none of them. That was an off night last night, so hopefully people take a bit of confidence off that and think that they're going to go in there and you know, they're out doing me. No, bring them on, bring the money, bring Eddie, make an offer, make a good offer, and I'll do Sugar Nunez in the States. I'll do it anywhere you want. It's just how it is.
Obviously, when I touch on Joe Cordina, obviously I shared a clip obviously of the 2 years afterwards, shows the very best of what sportsmanship's like in the sport. Like, it's crazy to think you took his world title off him, and he's the first person to congratulate you when you step out of the ring. Isn't that what the sport's all about?
Yeah, that's what it's about, you know, with boxing. I respect everybody who gets in through the ropes and you know, and who's trying to provide for their family. So it should be all about respect, and you know, and it is really. So yeah, mate, fair play to Joe. He came over and said congratulations after and whatever else, and fair play to him.
And obviously finally on Josh Warrington, obviously he hasn't confirmed he's going to retire. He obviously said he enjoyed obviously fighting with you. He sort of said he was probably expecting, everybody was saying, Frampton and everybody else was saying you're this big massive puncher, and he's expecting to be bulldozed sort of through. I think he said to you afterwards, you know, on that, like, obviously that's the end for Josh Warrington, like what a career he's had as well.
Well, very good tactics. He was leaning in, he's falling in with the head and underneath me all night long and holding me from the right hand side. They've got a team around him who are looking at me and trying to pick the right moves and whatever else against me, and they've done a good job.
Homecoming potentially maybe again. Like, have you told people not to do this time? Will you get on an open top bus this time if they plan it for you?
No, there's never an open top bus ever. You know what I mean? I enjoy people who support me, and you know, if they want to come up and ask for pictures, shake my hand, no, that's what it's about. But I'm not going to parade no open top bus, you know what I mean? Like, it's sort of looking king, but anyway, you know, crap.
I was going to say, and finally, obviously, on the support base is growing. Like, there's more Team Cacace than there's ever been before. Obviously, too, that support is obviously it's driving you on in these peak times of your career now. Obviously, that's that support that's driving you to keep going.
Listen, that really means the world to me. Like, honestly, every one of us who are supporting me out there, Belfast, wherever, north, east, south, west, doesn't matter where, in Belfast, in Ireland, all over the place. I appreciate you all, and keep riding the train with me, man, and yeah, let's keep going.
Well, look, congratulations once again. Enjoy your rest, and we'll see you in 2025.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.